My brother man and sister woman, I freely admit Lots of Water Lessons is the brainchild of avalanche of messages I have received from people constantly having spiritual fisticuffs with water spirits. They are in their need of help. Majority of people are having running battles with lots of water because of lack of knowledge and inability to think for themselves. They always want other people to do their thinking for them. Now hear this, Mr. David, actually that is not his real name, okay? Mr. David knows that he has spiritual connection with the marine kingdom because he is always eating and swimming in dream. At times, he is encapsulated, surrounded by snakes. Mr. David made up his mind to get married to his girlfriend of many years. His family prophetess advised him to perform some ceremonies in the river before proposing and getting married to his girlfriend. Talkative David told everybody, including his pastor, what the prophetess told him to do. His church pastor discouraged him from going to the river to do anything. The pastor told him going to the river to perform certain ceremonies, certain rituals, means he is handing over his soul to the marine kingdom. The pastor told him point blank, he is a child of God, and a child of God has no business with the marine kingdom. Mr. David narrated everything I just told you in the email he sent to me. In my response, I told him, you already belong to the marine kingdom, even before you were born. It is inconsequential whether you accept to go to the river or decline to go to the river. A mermaid is already present in your life. Mr. David declined to go to the river to do what the prophetess suggested. Not long afterwards, he got married to his girlfriend. Mr. David failed to do what he was told to do before entering into matrimonial life. Barrenness and abject poverty plagued the marriage. The truth is, Mr. David is having a running battle with the spiritual being, the water spirit, having ancestral bond with every member of his family. I hope you enjoyed the preamble lesson. Let me straightway peruse a YouTube message sent by Anna. I heard water spirit can make you rich. How true is that? It is true, Hannah. The abundance of element of water in certain people and the peculiar nature of their temperament can attract water spirits in harmony with their nature into their lives. The water spirits they attracted into their lives will boost the magnet and energy centers surrounding them. Eventually, they might become rich and famous on earth. Ordinarily, most servants of water spirits in townships and villages are poor. Only few of them belong to the middle class. Anna, I presume you know what that means. It means you cannot suddenly become rich and famous simply because you are serving a water spirit. The laws of water have helped quite a number of people who are not serving them. A water spirit is a subhuman being. It means a water spirit is partly human and partly spirit. A water spirit is almost a human being. That's why it can exhibit human emotions such as love and intense hate, etc. Hannah, of a truth I tell you, water spirits strongly dislike quarrelsome and extremely proud human beings. They strongly dislike rude and offensive human beings. They strongly dislike human beings that claims to know too much, etc. Water spirits are attracted to human beings who are childlike, simple, innocent, and sincere, etc. I think I have digressed a little bit. Let me focus on Hannah's message, which is how a water spirit can make you rich. Hannah, a water spirit can make you rich by boosting your magnetism and the energy field surrounding you. On earth, a human being with positive magnetism will be loved and assisted by majority of people. Positive magnetism will enable you attract the love and undivided attention of the right people with the right connection, and in no time you might become rich and famous. Most people cannot decline the request of a human being with positive magnetism. They can't. Most people will be more than willing to grant the request of a human being with positive magnetism. Of a truth, I tell you, Anna, success and failures experienced by most human beings are based on the kind of magnetism surrounding them. Hannah, remember, I said earlier, water spirit can boost your magnetism if you have a good temperament and an abundance of water element within you. Of course, temperament has to do with a person's nature, which reveals itself through the behavior of the person. Now, in our dealings with fellow human beings, most of us deliberately avoid some of our irritating relatives and friends because we don't like their behaviors and they are not willing to change. For instance, you might decide to stop buying your toiletries from a nearby supermarket because of the repulsive behavior of the sales girl in the supermarket. You experience inner rage whenever you sight the sales girl. So, for that reason, you feel much better going to another supermarket, even though it is many miles away from your home. So you see, as human beings, we love certain people. We feel much better staying around certain people. And at the same time, we hate certain people and feel much better avoiding them because of their temperament. Of a truth, I tell you, Hannah, laws of water equally exhibit human emotions. Water spirits naturally love certain people. They derive joy and pleasure in assisting and protecting them spiritually because they love their temperament. Anna, I presume you now understand the part played by one's temperament in attracting a like-minded water spirit into one's life. Now, let me shed light on the aspect of having an abundance of water element within you. Without having an abundance of water element within you, you cannot attract a water spirit which might help you acquire riches on earth. Now, let me give you an instance. A student with superfluous amount of knowledge will undoubtedly attract immense attention and respect from teachers and fellow students because he performs much better in his educational career than many other students. Children are basically intelligent, but there are few children who are more advanced than their age mates. Few children in this category are known as gifted children. Gifted children are born with above average natural abilities. Gifted children learn differently from others. They learn very quickly. They are intensely curious and ask sharp questions. They have an extremely good memory, etc. In the same vein, Hannah, the element of water is present in every human being. The element of fire is equally present in every human being. However, you will attract more attention from water spirits if you have a large quantity of water element within you. You will equally attract more attention from salamanders, the elemental spirits of fire, if you have large quantity of fire element within you. Of a truth, I tell you, my sister woman Anna, a human being is the embodiment of all the four elements of nature. However, when one particular element prove more powerful in a person, when there is a large quantity of a particular element in a person, spiritual influences associated with that particular element will work in favor of the individual concerned. Anna, in the light of what I have said, I want to make clearer, a human being possessing an abundant amount of water element and a good temperament may experience financial breakthroughs in life, and such a person will never drown in the river, etc. Such a person might not encounter problems associated with the element of water. In contrast, people possessing lesser amount of water element will not be loved and assisted by water spirits, and such a person might easily drown in the river, etc. In the same vein, a person with large quantity of fire element will be favored by the elemental spirits of fire, known as salamanders. Fire may not burn down the home or the shop of such a person because salamanders are on good terms with him. In contrast, people not favored by salamander may encounter fire-related problems. My sister woman Anna, there are many strange things, almost too strange for one to believe, but because one is ignorant about them does not mean they are not real. Hannah, have you been wondering why all fingers are not equal in this world? Have you been wondering why? For instance, Mr. Paul became rich with little or no effort. Mr. Paul is encapsulated by riches without much labor. Meanwhile, Mr. Joe keeps toiling day in, day out. Mr. Joe has spent his life toiling to acquire riches unsuccessfully. Mr. Joe is the epitome of failure, despite all his many years of relentless effort to succeed in life. Anna, I have convinced myself you have now realized that success or failure in life is determined by what is inside of you. Success or failure in life should be seen as physical manifestation of what you already possess in your innermost being.
Follow us on Instagram at Grow to Say, Twitter at Grow to Say, TikTok at Grow to Say, and YouTube